Hello everybody, how are you doing? How's it going with you? Okay, so I hope um the last video was really informative and explanatory for you guys. Okay, so you know it's um really a lot to produce videos. Okay, so and not just videos, a explanatory video that you can watch and it can be very explanatory for you to understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so I would like you guys to pardon me in making the videos. Okay, so this is actually um going to be good for you guys. Okay, in as much as I'll be actually trying to speed this up, I'll be trying to speed things up. Okay, so I don't want to leave so many gap and spaces. Okay, so I want to do it accordingly and in a way you guys can easily get it and catch up. Okay, so about the last video, I want to quickly point out some facts. Okay, so the last video was mainly to set up your coding environment. Okay, so if you participated, you watched the video, the previous video, then you should be able to set up, or you should have set up your coding environment. Okay, and we talked about the basic things, the tools we're going to be needing for web development, at least a basic web development. Okay, so we'll be needing the Google Chrome for our web browser and our um, Visual Studio Code for our text editor. Well, some people can call it code editor. It's fine with that too. Okay, so I assume you've already downloaded and installed and set up your Google Chrome. You can use another browser if you want, Firefox, Safari, Internet Explorer, but that is not advisable. Okay, so I advise you stick with either Google Chrome or Firefox. Well, if you're a Mac user, Google Chrome is also available for Mac, so you can use Google Chrome or use Safari. But I advise for you to use Google Chrome. Okay, and for our code editor, I suggest you also use Visual Studio Code. Okay, so these are all lightweight tools that can get you up and running. So all, or even, I don't want to use all, but most web developers use these tools. Okay, yeah. So having understood that, then today's video is going to be about HTML fundamentals. Okay, so in the last video I showed you some little and starter code for HTML. Okay, so that code is not for you to try to okay, what was this now, what is this thing saying? Okay, in as much as I also explained what each line of code is doing. Okay, so but I don't expect you to fully understand it like that. Okay, so that was just to show you how HTML code is going to be. Okay, so in this video I will be talking about HTML fundamentals. Okay, I'm going to be breaking down HTML. Okay, it is very simple, right? So all you have to do is just be patient, open up your heart so you can learn. Okay, it's very important to do that. Then focus, so you want to maintain absolute focus. Okay, so it's very important. So I'll be breaking down HTML. I'll be taking it from the grassroots, then I'm going to go it up to where you're going to need where you're going to be proficient. Okay, so there are some aspects in HTML that you just have to do, you can't do without them. Okay, in web development. So I'll be touching those aspects today, and in the next videos to come I'll also be talking about HTML semantics, HTML5 semantics tag. Okay, so that is the standard HTML elements or tags you need to use to start developing a classic, a standard website. Okay, so but for this video I'll be talking about HTML fundamentals. So I'll be breaking down everything about HTML. Okay, so whenever you're using HTML5 semantics tag, you know, okay, yes, this is what I'm doing. I can infuse this, I can take this out, I can, you can just play around with it and create cool stuff. Okay, yeah. And I don't know if it's too early to say this, but the next there will be an activity after, by the end of this video. Okay, so you are expected to at least you should be able to build a simple resume. Okay, your resume maybe like showing your name, your email, your phone number, your address, okay, your experience, um I can do this, I can do that, your school details, those little stuff, your resume, contains. So you can be able to, you should be able to do that after this video. Okay, so that would be like a, I don't want to call it an assignment now, but it will be like an activity, right? So you just want to do that to start working with HTML. Okay, so straight up, let's get into today's video. Okay, so yeah, I have my code. Oh, okay, let me close this. Okay, so new window. Okay, so I can go ahead and just close that. Can go ahead and close this. Okay, so the last time I showed you how you can easily open your folder. Okay, so it's really important you create a folder on your desktop, right? So at least for starters, so just make sure you create a folder so that you can have your documents there. Okay, so I open up my code editor. Then to open up my folder, I'll click open folder. Okay, so I'm on my desktop. Then this is learn web. Then okay, so yeah, my folder is here. So the last time we were, okay, let me close this guy. I don't think I need him. I don't think I'm needing him. Okay, so we talked about this. These were the codes we used for during the last video. Okay, so I'll go ahead and delete them. All right, so that's all. So for this video, okay, I enlarged this so that you can see what I'm typing clearly. Okay, so during this video I will show you how you can create. Okay, let me also delete this now. Okay, let me go ahead, let me go into this folder, let me delete everything here. Okay, so I'll take it from scratch, right? So delete, yeah, delete. So now there are ways in which you can create your HTML documents. Okay, so first of all, I want you to understand this. You don't need a server, okay, when you want to create your HTML documents. Okay, all you need is your laptop, your laptop basically. Okay, so just whatever operating system you are using, you know how to create a file there. Okay, so but why I asked you to create your file from your code editor is that you can actually be swift with it, so you can just quickly do something and do this and do that. Okay, so you don't have to start going to your file explorer to create files. Okay, so you can just do it right from here. I have my folder here. Okay, so this button here is to create new file. Okay, so now when creating an HTML file, what do we need? First of all, you need to create your file with an extension of .html. Okay, so that signifies that that document is an HTML document. Okay, yeah, is it an HTML or a HTML? Okay, pardon me, but I think I'm gonna be using an HTML. Okay, so just pardon me for that. Okay, so you creating your file and ending it with .html extension signifies that that document is an HTML document. Okay, so just go ahead and click this button here and index.html. Okay, so with that you've created your HTML file, your HTML document. Now one little thing I need to explain here. This why we are naming this file index.html is that anytime you create a file and name it index.html, it stands for your root directory. Okay, your root page or your home page for your website. Okay, so imagine now I go to facebook.com and the page I'm welcome to, okay, log in Facebook this and that, that page is their index.html page. So they can use PHP. Facebook is using PHP, so I don't want to go into that aspect now. So but whatever website you navigate to, so the page you are always shown at first, that is shown to you at first, is always the index.html. So it is used by the server to render your welcome page, your landing page. So it is important that your own page, you name it index.html. Okay, so with that taken, now move on to the next thing. Okay, so now after creating our in our file, so the next thing we need to do now is I want to show you a page structure for HTML. Okay, so how HTML looks like, okay, how you're gonna how an HTML document should look. Okay, I already explained this actually in the last video, but I'm gonna be talking about it again here. So I'll just go ahead and do something real quick, so you don't have to disturb yourself with it. So just I want to explain. Okay, so just let me go ahead and remove this. This is not needed for now. So I will just explain this. Okay, let me remove this too. It's not needed for now. Okay, so this, what we have here is a basic HTML page structure. Okay, so you want to create an HTML document. The first thing you need to do first, make sure your document is encapsulated within this. Okay, I explained in the last video that the head, okay, let me start from the beginning. This line here is to declare your document type. Okay, now we have different versions of HTML. We have HTML1, HTML2, 3, 4.1 and 5. Okay, so the most recent version of HTML and the standardized version of HTML is the HTML5. Okay, so HTML5 is very, very simple, flexible. It gives you a lot of flexibility and functionalities. Okay, so this line of code here is telling the browser, or you are declaring that this document type is HTML5. Okay, so with this, you just told your browser or whoever is seeing your code that this document type is HTML5. Okay, so it's important you always include this in your while creating your HTML document. Okay, then after doing this, the next thing you do is to create your HTML tag. So this signifies that the document is an HTML document. Okay, so I can remove this now, and from my HTML file it's still gonna work. Okay, but you want to specify your document type. Okay, your document version. You want to give information about your document, so it's really important you have that there. Okay, so but this is what you need to create, to show that okay, this document is an HTML document. So this is just showing that the version of the HTML of this HTML you are using. Okay, so with that understood, then I also explained in last video that there are two aspects in terms of when you are talking about HTML documents. We have the head and you have the body. Okay, so now I said in the last video that the head is the aspect of an HTML document that is used by the web browser to get information about how to render your web page. Okay, so it is not visible on the web page. Okay, so this is only shown when you view your page source. Okay, your source code. I will show you how to do that now. Okay, so now any information within this HTML, this head tag rather, is going to be visible to the page. Okay, and I already showed you that the first element you need is your title tag. Okay, so this will name your page. Alright, so I'm explaining the basic HTML syntax now. Okay, so what you need to, these tags are a must tag for any HTML document you are creating. Okay, so you need your title tag to be able to name your page title. Okay, so I will show you where this is going to show on the browser now, and if it's not there, what you're going to see if this title tag is not there. Okay, so then after that we are now in our body tag. Okay, so I explained in the last video that whatever is in this body tag will be rendered on the web page. Okay, so whatever um, information you have there is going to display on the web page. All right, so let me, okay, for example now, let me just go ahead and rename this to my website. Okay, let me take up this piece, my website. Then I'm not using any I'm not using any tag right now. I just want to write simple text. Okay, then I put welcome to my website. Okay, so I have this here. Now let me show you how this is gonna look. Let me show you how this is gonna look like on the web page. Okay, now let me open it. Now I talked about, the last time I showed you some extensions to install rather, sorry for my language. Okay, so I show you some extensions to install in the previous video. So one of the extensions was a live server. Okay, so I'm going to explain that again now. Normally, if you want to, after creating your HTML file like this, you can just go to your file, okay, and you just open with Google Chrome. Okay, so it's going to open up in your browser. Alright, should open up here. Yeah, so look at it here. Okay, you see it over here. So this is the text I wrote earlier. Welcome to my website. This text, this is it here. You see, it's just a plain text, nothing, no effects, just a plain text without anything. You understand? It's got nothing telling the browser what to do with this text. Okay, you are not telling it that this text is my header. You are not saying move this text to the right, move this text to the left. You are just writing a plain text there. Okay, so and the other way to also launch your HTML file is, okay, so is to use the live server. Okay, so I explained how you can launch your HTML, view HTML with your live server. Okay, you can just right click, you click this open with live server here, or you come down here and you click this button here. Okay, I hope you can see this. You click this go live button. Okay, so once you click it, it's going to start a server and it's going to open it up for you on your web browser. Okay, so now you can see that it's created a virtual server for you. Okay, so these are just you don't have to bother yourself with that now. Okay, so now you understand that as time goes on. So just focus on what you just have to do. Okay, now I wrote just a plain text here without anything attached to it. Okay, so the browser is just going to see it as a plain text and it's going to render it that way. Alright, yeah, so then I've talked about the HTML page structure and the syntax that you need. Okay, now let me show you something now. So I want to view the page source for this. I want to see my source code. Okay, for example, now let me say I'm on facebook.com. okay, and I want to see, okay, I love this sorry for that. Okay, I love this sorry, let me use this. Let me use NEXRUSH. Okay, so I'm on NEXRUSH.com now, and I love the way everything is here. This is beautiful and nice. Okay, and I want to see the code. Okay, how did they, what kind of codes were used to create this. I can just go I can just do that by right clicking and view page source. Okay, it's going to open up the codes. Okay, so for NEXRUSH, right click, view page source. Okay, so these are all the codes that is generated from here. Okay, so this is it here. So another way you can also do that is to use your browser development tools. Okay, so now I will explain to you now why I said you should download and use Google Chrome as a browser. Okay, so Google Chrome has some tools called developers tools. Okay, so those tools are what you need as a developer while developing your website. Okay, now let me show you how to go to those, to that aspect. Now you click on the options tab here. Now you click on more tools, then you click on developers tools. Okay, so it's going to open it up for you to your site. Yeah, or you can also go there quickly by just pressing a little command on your laptop. You press Control Shift and I. Okay, if you're on a Mac, you press Command Shift and I, and the letter I. Okay, so it's going to open up the browser developers tools for you. So now from this place I can view my source codes. Okay, so literally as a developer, this is where you want to focus your attention. Okay, so you have the console here, but you don't have to worry about this now. That's for when you are working with JavaScript and some other programming language. Okay, yeah, and I also explained to you the first time that HTML is not a programming language. It is simply a markup language just to structure your web page. Okay, so now with this I can be able to see the elements, the codes that were used to create this. Okay, so that's that on developers tools. Okay, so let me just go back here. So now I already talked about the HTML version, how a simple HTML structure syntax should look like, and a HTML page, a simple basic HTML page, how it should look like. Okay, so let me go into okay, so now there's something called HTML elements, sorry, HTML comments. Okay, so what are HTML comments? Very simple. Okay, now HTML comments are just your opinions. Okay, your you want to add more information to what you're, to that aspect of code, so you can use comments, HTML comments. So HTML comments are not rendered by the browser. Okay, now how can you do HTML comments? How can you do a comment in HTML? So it's simple, just do this. Okay, double. Okay, because I'm using the Visual Studio Code, so it is automatically creating the closing the tag for me. So whatever I write here, HTML comments won't be rendered. Okay, so now this is saved, and let me view it. You see, you can't see anything here. Okay, but when I view the source, you should see it here. So let me use this. Let me use the developers tools. So you see it here. Okay, you can see this line of code here. So it is not rendered by the browser. Okay, yeah. So it's just to add comments, your opinions, because it's really important you use comments while coding, while developing, because after writing your codes and you want to go back to it for maybe after 5 months, you'll be like, oh, what did I do here? What am I trying to do here? So comments are very important. Okay, so try as much as possible to use them while coding, your coding career. Okay, so then I want to talk about, there's something I didn't really explain in the last video, and I don't want to skip it now. So there's something called HTML tag syntax. Okay, so how does this work? This title tag here, why did I just create a title here and close it here? What does that mean? Okay, now a basic HTML tag now is comprised of an opening tag and a closing tag. Okay, so for this title element now, my opening tag is this, and my closing tag is this. Okay, so now you want to write an HTML element. Okay, and you want to create your HTML tag. Okay, so how do I do it? Just very simple. Use the angle, the left angle bracket. Okay, and name your let me say I want to use H1. Okay, so this here is my opening tag. Okay, So for me to close it, you can see the because of the extensions I'm using, it has automatically created the closing tag for me. Okay, so but for you to close your tags, you also do the same thing as the opening tag, but you use the forward slash or backward slash, whatever. So you use the slash. Okay, so that signifies that this is the closing tag for the HTML you opened over here. Okay, so it's really important you understand that, because it's the basics of creating whatever HTML document you're creating. Okay, so with that understood, so let me go into um, a simple HTML heading. Okay, so in the previous video I showed you different HTML headings. Okay, HTML headings are six. There are six of them. We have the H1, the H2, the H3, the H4, the H5, and the H6. Okay, so the H1, heading 1, heading 1. Okay, the H2, this is heading 2. The H3, this is heading 3. Sorry. Then the H4, this is heading 4. The H5, heading 5. Then the H6, heading 6. Okay, so these are the 6 types of heading we have in HTML. Okay, so let's open the browser. You can see, so they are of different sizes. Okay, now I explained in the previous video that H1 heading signifies the most important heading on that web page. Okay, so most times search engine optimization uses what they look for is H1 or H2. So it's very important that whatever heading you want to that is a very important heading on that web page, you want to use H1 for it. Okay, so and you can see that it has, it's created a little space underneath. So H2 also has little space, and like that. So those things are called padding. Okay, and margin. Okay, so and why is that so? Okay, that brings me into the topic of HTML block and inline elements. Okay, now in HTML there are two types of elements. We have block element and we have the inline element. So what are block elements? Block elements are elements that takes up the whole browser width. Okay, and it's got margins. So margins now are the little space you can see over here. The spaces over here, those are called margins. Okay, now let me show you how it is here. Okay, now you can see here that I'm moving over here. Can you see this little box here? Now the margin over here, can you see it? So you can see I have a margin of 8. Okay, so a margin of 8 for the body. Now for my heading, I have a margin of 2.21.440. Okay, so these are the margins created automatically by the browser. Okay, so the browser tools got some embedded CSS syntax style sheet. Okay, so I don't want to go into that now, but in the future videos we are going to learn about CSS. So I'm trying as much as possible to make this video HTML only. Okay, so you can understand what you need. Okay, so these are margins. Margins are just spaces outside the HTML elements. Okay, so all block elements will create a margin. Okay, so they want to take up the whole space. You can see it. They are taking up the whole space over here, the browser width. Okay, so but for an inline element, you can have an inline element 5 elements on the same line. That is possible because that type of element is an inline element. Okay, so that's the difference between a block element and an inline element. So you should understand that now. So I have my heading set. So the next tag I want to go into now is the paragraph tag. Okay, so I did explain that in the previous video, but let me show it to you now. So your paragraph now is just to create, you want to start writing more info, more notes. Okay, your blog post. Okay, you want to start writing the main article itself. You're going to use your paragraph tag to do that. Okay, so now I want to just use a default text. Okay, so um, VS Code gives me embedded, what do I call it now, text, but let me check if that works. No. Okay, let's forget about that. But all this, I wanted to use some lorem ipsum, so it's called just to take up space and rubbishes and stuff like that. Okay, so I just want to have some little some content to just take space on the page. Okay, let me close this on the page so that it can give you structure. Okay, so I just want to write some little bunch of rubbishes there and stuff. Okay, so that is that. Alright, so now let me go ahead and create another paragraph tag, copy that and pasted it. Okay, so let me check the page. You can see we have this here, right? So I want to also quickly give you examples of block elements. We can see paragraph tag is also an example of a block element, so it is taking up the whole width. Okay, so the second paragraph is not starting on here, right? It is not starting on this place. Why? Because it is a block element. So whenever you're using block elements, it uses the whole browser width. Okay, so you should understand that very well. Okay, so now in the previous video I used some tags. So those tags are actually outdated. Should I use outdated? Okay, I can use outdated, but they are not, excuse me, they are not supported in HTML5. So I used bold tags. Okay, the bold tag. So I want to bold in a text now, a part of a text. I want to make it more bolder. Okay, I want people to see it, that okay, this part I'm stressing this part. Okay, you guys should take note of this place. So I can just go ahead and use the strong, the strong tag. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and cut this and paste it over here. Okay, so this signifies that this text here is going to be bolding. Okay, so let me show you on the page, so we can see it over here that the text now is bold. Okay, so it is very important to use strong. Okay, so that is the recent tag you want to use to bolden your text. And for the italics, I use the I tag, but you want to use the EM tag. So EM is called emphasize, so you want to place more emphasis there. So let me cut that and just paste it here to make this italic. Okay, so let me check the effect. Okay, now we can see from here that this block of text here is italic. Okay, so we just take note of that. So we have underline. Okay, let me use underline. Let me underline this. We have underline. Underline is just you. So let me cut and paste here. So it is going to underline this text. Alright, so you can see this is underlined. Okay, let me increase the browser size so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so you can see this text over here is underlined. Okay, so you can take note of that. So after that, I want to go into the BL tag. Okay, so there are tags called self closing tag, or self closing tag. Alright, so and one of it is the BL. Okay, now I want to show you something real quick. Now this example of BL tag I used here is an XHTML version of BL. Okay, so naturally you have different versions of HTML, but this is the most recent one. All right, so whenever you want to create a line break, you should just use this. Okay, so you don't want to use this, right? So in as much as this is going to work, but you want to be based on latest principles. All right, so you don't want something that is outdated, that is no more supported, because it's gonna cause problems in the future. All right, so you should try as much as possible to use latest HTML tags. All right, so just go ahead and remove this. So now what this tag does is that it creates a line break. Okay, so I will show you that now in a moment. Okay, let me see. I am writing here, you know, this. I'm just writing some rubbishes and stuff like that. All right, so and I want to break. I just want to start on another line. I don't want to use paragraph. Okay, you know I can do that by using paragraph. All right, so but I want to still maintain that context, that block of text, but I want to start the other text content on another line. Okay, so I can simply use this br tag to do that. All right, so after doing this, so you write the br tag, then sorry, so you continue writing over here. So, or better still, you can bring in your content here. Nothing stops you from doing that. Okay, so now let me check this on the page now. So you can see this now. You can see that this is the first line. Then we broke the line and we told it to start the other line, the other text on another line. Okay, so that's the function of br. Once I remove this now, once I take this off now and I check, you can see it's already on the same line. Alright, so that's the function of br, so you should take note of that. Okay, so that's back there. So I'm going to be using it here so that I can add more spaces to the page. Alright, so then what I want to do next is to show you the link tag. Okay, let me also show you this hr. So hr is very simple. Hr is just horizontal rule. Okay, sorry, horizontal rule. So I also said you can use this or you can use this, but safe practices, for safe practices, make sure you use this only. Okay, so this is going to create an horizontal rule. It's going to rule over. Okay, let me show you how it is. Can you see it now? Can you see this line? Can you see this line? This line over here. So that was created using hr. Okay, so it's called horizontal rule. All right, so you can take note of that. You can just get creative with it. Okay, for example, now I want to just, I don't want to use the ul tag, sorry, the u tag for underline. I want to just, okay, this is a title and I want to underline it. I can simply do that by just using the hr. Okay, so it's going to create that for me. Okay, let me add more spaces here. Line break. So you can see I have it there. Alright, so it's going to just create the line, but an hr tag is a block element too, so that is why it is taking the whole width of the browser. Alright, so you should take note of that. So it's very tricky when you're using hr to underline your heading. In fact, don't use it. Alright, so you can specify that in your html for the heading. So don't use this to underline your heading. Alright, so it's just to create an horizontal rule. Alright, okay, so now let me take this off. So let me just do something real quick. Okay, just hold on. I'll tell you what I'm doing now. Okay, so what I did now was to because you can see that if let me comment it out so you can. Yeah, another function of comment, HTML comment, is that you don't want this code to run. You are trying to debug your code. Maybe there's an error somewhere and you want to get where the error is. You can use HTML comment to debug. Alright, so let me comment this out now and the code won't run. Okay, so why I did this was so that I can have space here so that you can see what I'm going to be displayed on the page clearly. Okay, so that's why I'll be doing this here. So this will just create more page of, I said more page, more space of 500 pixels high. Okay, so I'm trying to expand the page by 500 pixels high. Okay, higher. Okay, so let me comment this, and here we go. So it's going to display. Right, so the code is running now. So now let me go ahead and do what I have next. So I want to talk about the link tag. Okay, so let me just copy this paragraph and paste it here. Okay, so I want to link now. I want to add a link here, maybe a link to Google. Okay, how do I do that? You can do that by just using the a tag. Okay, so I will explain what it is now in a moment. So just be patient. Now go to Google, or you can use anything you want. So now the a tag now is to declare that this content here is a link. Okay, so now this brings me into the topic of HTML attributes. So what are attributes? It's very simple. You can just liken it to okay, let me just explain. Okay, HTML attributes are tags, or is just adding more properties to your HTML element. Okay, so let me explain it now with in a real life scenario. Okay, now let me take myself as an example. All right, I'm a human being. Okay, so I've got let me see me as a whole. I'm a document, right? I'm an HTML document. So my body now is an HTML document. Okay, so and I've got my head, my body parts. I've got different parts of body on my body. Okay, I have my head, I have my my hands, I got my leg, my foot, my fingers. You understand? Okay, so those are my body parts. Okay, so you can liken that to HTML head and body too. Okay, so I've got my head and my body. So now I want to add, now my head now is got characteristics. Okay, I've got eyes, I've got my nose, I've got my mouth, I've got my hair, I've got my hairs. Okay, so that is also like what the HTML attribute does. So it adds more properties to the HTML element. Okay, so all HTML can have an attribute. Okay, so you can just describe more, you can add more properties to that HTML element. Okay, so that's the function of HTML attributes. Now we have different types and kinds of attributes. Okay, so I'll be showing you each attribute as we progress in this video. Okay, so but just note that this href is an HTML attribute, and what does it do is to just take you, this will just tell it, this signifies that it signifies the location of the link. Okay, let me say this, I'm gonna go to Google now. Google.com. Okay, so what this does is that it signifies that this go to Google should, once this is clicked, I should be taken to google.com. Okay, let me show you what that. Now you can see now we already have a link here. Okay, so now once I click on this, it's going to take me to google.com. Okay, so but excuse me. So, and also there's one more thing I want to also tell you. Now, for example, now I want to just like add a little link to my document, and I want to tell them, okay, click here to get more information or whatever, and I still want to retain my visitors. Okay, now what do I do? So all I have to do is just use the target attribute. So what this does is that it tells the browser that once this link is clicked, it gives it more information. Okay, that whenever the link is clicked, maybe it should open it in a new tab or open it in a new window, or you understand. So what we're going to do to open this link in a new tab, now we're going to use target and set it to a value of _blank. Okay, so now once I click this to open up Google in a new tab. Okay, so I don't have to allow my users to just go away like that. Okay, so I just wanted this to be like a resource, so I don't want them to leave my website. So you can just make that link to open in a new tab by using target with the value of underscore blank. Okay, so you can read more on more values for targets. All right, how to open in a new window. Okay, so now values. Now HTML attributes comes in name and value pairs. Okay, now what do I mean? For example, I have this here. Okay, let me see, make use of this. I have this. So now to add an attribute here, I can have my name, the name of the attribute equals to the value. Okay, sorry, the value. Now in this example, now the attribute, now the name of the attribute now is href. Okay, and the value is https google.com. Okay, now the name of the attribute here is target, and the value is underscore blank. Okay, so you have to understand that. So that is just for explanation. Okay, to tell you more about HTML attribute. So now with this, now we've successfully added a link to our document. Okay, so now after doing that, now the next thing I want to show you now is the list type, HTML list. Okay, let me comment this so that I can know what I'm doing. Okay, so now the next thing I want to do is to talk about HTML list. HTML list. Okay, so now a list. Now let me explain what a list is. A list is like a bullet. Okay, a bullet items. Okay, you want to just create a list of cars. You have Mercedes, you have whatever car you have whatever kind of cars you have them. You have maybe fruits, the types of fruits you have, examples of fruits rather. You have your mango, you have your apple, you have your pineapple, and the rest of it. So you can use HTML list to list out items, okay, in your HTML document. So now there are two types of HTML list. You have the unordered list and the ordered list. So you have the unordered list. Come on. We have the ordered list. Okay, and we have the ordered list. Okay, so now under create an ordered list, I'll show what an ordered list look like now. So to create an ordered list in HTML, use the UL tag. Okay, so now then you use the li. So this signifies the list item. Okay, now let me see. I don't know how that heading here. This list is list of fruits. Okay, so I want to say I don't want to use H1, I want to use H3. Examples of fruits. Okay, then my item now would be, I have a mango. Okay, li. I have an apple. Okay, I have watermelon. Okay, I have li. I have pineapple. Okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, so once I check this now in the browser, now you can see I have my list items here. So okay, let me create a break here so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so now this is my list. Okay, So now I have my, this is the title of the list. I use this three, okay. Then the list items, I have mango, apple, watermelon, pineapple, and the rest of it. Okay, so now for you to create an ordered list in HTML, you use UL, then the title of the list, then followed by the LI for the list item. So you can use as much as LI as you want, depending on the list, the number of list item you have. Okay, so now the other type is the unordered list. Okay, so to do that now, you use the OL tag. Okay, so now for my heading, let me just copy this and paste it there. Okay, it's still the same thing but different rendering. Okay, so okay, let me leave that as this. So once I show you that, now you can see it creates the list in a way, in an ordered pattern. Okay, now the first item here is mango, second apple, third watermelon, fourth pineapple. But for this unordered list, it just lists them out using a disk, a bullet, this black whatever here. So excuse me, this is the difference between an unordered list and an ordered list. Okay, so the ordered list will list it out for you accordingly, 1 2 3 4, but you can change this to Roman figure if you like, so you can make it list it out in Roman figures, Roman numerals. Okay, so that will be, as you further to read more on this, you understand how to do that. Okay, so but for just explanation sake, that is how to create an HTML list. Okay, so now after doing that, the next thing we have is the table, HTML table. Okay, now we have HTML table. Okay, so now you want to represent, you have a tabular data, maybe your inventory in your office, and you want to represent it on in your HTML document. How do you do that? You can do that using the HTML table. Okay, so now how do you do that? Now you go ahead by, first of all, creating, using a table tag. Okay, just follow along. All right, so use the table tag. Then the other tag you want to use is the T head, specifying that the table heading. Okay, then after that you have the T body. Okay, so now this is just simple syntax for HTML table. Now in your table head, now you have, so you want to create an heading for each column, each column. Yeah, so now a simple table, now a table is made up of rows and columns. Okay, so now I want to create a row now for my table heading. Okay, so I can do that now using tr, so it means table row. Okay, so now I have a row here and I want to create the table heading. Okay, for each, now I want to create a column in the row. Alright, so now, okay, let me type and I will show you something. Let me say names. This should come here. Sorry, should come here. Okay, email. Okay, them an email only. So now, whatever the amount of th you have here is going to determine the amount of column you have. Okay, so now maybe you have a table now with column of serial number, SN, names, position, emails, months, you have those columns. So you just all you have to do is just include them here using the h tag. Okay, so it's as simple as that. All right. So then after this now we are done with our table heading. Now I want to create the table body now what I want to do is to create a role. It's very simple. Now after creating the role, I want to create a data, and I want to assign a data for the to the table heading. Okay, now td, I do that using td. It's called table data. Now my name now medium phrase. Okay, now this is my first column under the which is going to be assigned to the names. Okay, then my email now. I have my email should be gideon@nexrush.com. Okay, so that is the first role now for my table. Let me just copy this and paste it. Okay, so don't mind the formatting, just some little errors. Okay, so let me just structure that well. Alright, oops. So yeah, so here we go. Yeah, so once I view this now, you can see it. Yeah, let me add more let me add space here so you can signify, you can distinguish which one is which one. Okay, so now we have our table here. Alright, so remember we are just using pure HTML only, so we don't want to start designing anything now. Okay, and remember I told you HTML just for structuring. Alright, so if you want to add designs to this, all you have to do is to just write your CSS and structure and align and assign it to this. Alright, so now we are just talking about HTML only. Okay, so this is our table now. You can have so many columns and rows as you want. Okay, so just follow this pattern. Create your table heading. You have a table role, then your table head, the heading itself, then your table body. You have a table rule. The first rule of this signifies the first rule. This here, this is it here. Okay, so this is it here. Alright, so then this second one here, this is it here. Okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you want to create as much as role as you have on your documents that you want to create. Okay, so then I'm trying to be fast. So the next thing we have after talking about table is forms. Okay, let me talk about form. We have HTML form. No. Let's make this a comment. Sorry, don't mind me. HTML forms. Okay, so now whatever form you see on different websites, those were probably created with using HTML form. Okay, HTML form elements and tags, and I'll show you how to do that in this video now. So I want to just create a form on my website now, maybe a login or to a contact form, a registration page form, whatever form you want to create. You can do that. Now I will show you how to do that. Now you use the form tag. Okay, now in this form tag we have different attributes. Now we have the action attribute. Now these action attributes are only used for back-end purposes only. Okay, so this is whatever details, information that is being filled in on your form, So when the user clicked on submit, is the details is going to be sent to action, whatever value is here, and it's going to be processed there, then added to your database or whatever you want to do with the data gotten from the form. Okay, so you have the, let me just put process dot php. Okay, so don't worry about this now. All right, then we have a method attribute. Okay, so we have get and post. All right, so a get method, we just get, we are getting data from database. All right, so and it's not really as secured as post, because the data is going to be shown, whatever you are getting is going to be shown on the address bar, in the URL. Okay, so you want to use post. All right, so so I'm going to use post. Okay, then after that, now let me add a label for each form element. Now let me just use first name. Okay, so this will be a label for my input element for first name. Okay, then input. Now I have type. I will explain this now, so just follow. I have text, I have name, so I have first name. Okay, so now after for when you want to create your form, okay, I started off by saying you should create your form element first, then you can add your action for where the information will be processed, then the method in which the data is going to be rendered. Maybe it's going to be sent, or you want to get data from the database. All right, so that's the function of this method attribute here. All right, so then now the form value itself, the form content itself. Now first name on login form, you have first name, then you have username or email. All right, so I just want to create a form now, a random form now. So you have those contents there. So now this is how you create them. All right, you first of all, you use the label to create a label for the inputs form, the input box rather. Then you have your input element with type of text. Now you have different type of type. Okay, you have different values for this type attribute here. So now this signifies that the content, the data that is going to be written into this input box is going to be a text. It's going to be in text format. Okay, so now this name now is used with JavaScript to get the data here, or you want to use it in your PHP to get the value of the data of this input box here. That's why you are using a name here. Okay, so this is just to get the value of the data here, and you want to act on this. So that's why you use a name attribute here. Alright, so let me go ahead and show this. Now can you see this here now? Now this is our label, and this is our input box. Okay, now this signifies that whatever is going to be is going to be in text format. Okay, so that's that about that. Then I want to create my label. Okay, let me just go ahead and copy this. Okay, create label for last name. Label for last name. So let me just change this to last name, and let me update this to the last name. Okay, so can you see this here now? So now, why is this on the same line? It's very simple. I just explained it the first time, because these elements are inline elements. Okay, so now to make this on another line, now all you have to do is just add div tag. Now the div tag now is a block element, so it will make so it will come in, place it here. So so let me just copy this and paste it over here, then change this here. Sorry, I want to copy it well, then our last name, our last name there. Alright, so once I go ahead now and check this on the browser, it's going to be rendered on a different line. Can you see this now? Okay, so you can see it's on another line because I use div. So div is just abbreviation for division. Okay, so you are dividing, creating sections. Okay, so it's a div, it's a block element rather. It will just simply use the old width of this line. Okay, so you don't want to have this here, you don't want to have this last name on the same line with this. Okay, so you just go ahead and use div. Then another kind of input element I have, so a label for, okay, I have email. Alright, so I have email, I want to get the email, so I can just do what, I'll create my input tag now, then my type is going to be email. Okay, then name will be email. Okay, so now HTML5 has already, it uses an email type value. Okay, so you don't have to make this a text, you don't have to make the value here a text, you understand? So they already added functionality for email, so you just go ahead and use email as a value for your type. Okay, so I'll just go ahead with that, showing us this here. Okay, then write my email here. Right, so I don't want to write there. Okay, so I don't want to write there, write it there. Alright, so then after that I want to create an element for message. Okay, maybe I want to just create a contact label. I'm creating a contact form, I want people to contact me, so I want to have a very large text box there. So all I do is to use text area, then I give it a name value. Name is message. Okay, so that is it. So that will create, it will create a, so I've put this in a div, forgot. Okay, let me do that now. Okay, so to create this large text box. Alright, oops. So you can drag this here and drop. So maybe something is wrong somewhere. Wrong somewhere. Sorry. Come on. Should I use it? Text area. Okay. Shouldn't be having this here. There was something broke somewhere. I'm trying to figure out what that is right now. Okay, yeah, it's working. Okay, if you figured there was a test here, div somehow, and it's not giving me this space I want under here. So that's why I wanted to know what was going on. Okay, so now it's fixed now. So the text area now, um it gives you this large box, right? So I can just write my messages here, and and get um you know free with it. So and you can also enlarge this to your favorite size. Okay, whatever size you want, you can enlarge it there. Okay, so that's that about that for text area. Then I also want to use I also want to show you for numbers. Okay, maybe you want to request for um you want to request for their age, for age. Okay, so let me use age here. Now my input tag, now my type is going to be number. Okay, then my name attribute will be age. Okay, so with that I've created an input box for age. Okay, so now I can just put 34 here. Not 34 years, so don't think I'm 34 years. Okay, so I'm not 34 years old. I'm not 34 years old. So just for example, just for practice purpose only, so I can go ahead and click this button here to decrease and increase. Okay, so that's why you're using type of the value of number. Okay, so that it can give you this functionality over here. Okay, so I also want to show you another aspect, selection. Let's say you want to create. Okay, let me create this now. I want to create I want to ask people for their gender. Okay, or country, or I want to ask you, where are you from, what's your country. Okay, let me use country. I think that would be nice. Country. Okay, the country. So now all I have to do is to use the select tag. Sorry, select tag. Okay, so after doing that, so the next thing I want to do after that is to do what? Is to create a name for it. Alright, so I can be able to reference this particular selection, this particular input selection. Now I want to use country. Okay, so now after doing that, now so the next thing I want to do is create my options. Okay, so I want to create now. Basically I will explain what this is now. Sorry, am I typing? I'll explain what this is now in a moment now. So what this does is to create it will create a drop down menu. Okay, I'm sure you've seen it before, but let me just do what I have to do. Okay, so it has a value. Let me say the USA. So the actual text is gonna be here. Okay, so let me create another option with value of Nigeria. Okay, then I have Nigeria to be displayed. Alright, I have another option for value of India. Okay, so I have the India itself. Just get creative with it. Okay, so just add the number of countries you want to add there. Okay, so now let me show you on the page now. Now you can see it now. It's created a drop down. Okay, so you want to ask people there. You don't want to allow them to start typing their country or their gender. Are you a male, a female, or others, or what's your gender? Okay, so this basically is going to create a drop down menu for you. Okay, so that's why I use the select tag. Okay, so now we'll do that. Then what other thing I want to do? Okay, so now furthermore on my form, then I want to submit this. Okay, after after allowing them to write their information and this and that, so how do I submit this form now? So what I want to do next is to just use the submit type. Okay, so input type is going to be submit. Okay, then I have value, so be submit. Sorry. So now what this does is that it's going to create a submit button with the value of submit on it. Okay, let's see that now. Can you see this now? So once I click this now, it's you see, when I clicked it, it took me to process.php. Why? Because this is the page that is after I fill in the form and I click on submit, it's going to come here to render, to process the information. Okay, so peradventure, let's say for example this was a login form. Okay, so now and I click login, so this page is supposed to show me, it's supposed to, okay, let's say I'm on the Facebook login page and I click and I fill in my details and I click login. Now the next page I'm going to see here is the Facebook home page, my timeline page. But before you see that, there are some processes that has happened, that has taken place in the background. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that now. That will be later when you are developing. Okay, so just know that this is to create a submit button for your form. Okay, so then yeah, in HTML there's also a tag for creating button. Okay, so this is gonna go ahead and create click, sorry bad my English, click me. Okay, so this will create a button and with the name of click me. Okay, so you can see this now. So once you click this, nothing is happening because basically this button is probably going to be used gotten with used by JavaScript. So you want to create an on-click event there, so you can just use an on-click event. Alright, so it's going to create something on click, but then the name of the function here, you can have function. So whatever function you have there, you can have it there. Okay, you can have it there. So don't let me talk about this here. So because this is advanced programming. Okay, so just know that you can create your custom buttons. Okay, on with HTML too. Alright, so after doing that, then what we have next? Okay, here image. Now I want to add image now to my website. Now I want to bring in my image, HTML image. Okay, so let me add one line here. Okay, so now how do I put an image on my web page? Very simple. Use the img tag. Okay, so now the img tag now has some attributes. Okay, I did explain what attributes were earlier. Attributes are very simple, just to add more properties to your HTML elements. Okay, so you want to add more characteristics of that is particular to that element. So you do that by using attributes. Okay, so an attribute are in pairs, name and the value. Okay, now for image, now I'll show you the attributes you are going to be needing for your image tag. Now you need src attribute. Okay, so now the meaning of src is it will be telling the browser to the source for the image. Okay, so let me just okay, now let me download a test image. Okay, so very quick. Okay, so I just want to download an image, so save it. Okay, let me just download this image. Okay, so I want to download this now. Save image. So let me just save it now. Desktop, that's my desktop. Okay, learn web. So let me just save it here. Let me rename it to image.jpg. okay, so now saved. Okay, so now we've downloaded that and saved it. Now my S house is gonna be image.jpg. okay, so now all you have to do now is to input the direct name and extension for the image. Okay, you can do that by just rename, then you copy everything here, okay, and paste it. All right, so but if you are using VS Code as I asked you to use, whenever you are writing your SRC, you can see it already showed me the available resource there on my in my folder there. Okay, so that's why I asked you to also use VS Code. All right, so I'll just go ahead and click this. So then let me go ahead and do that. So I should have my image. Now this is it. So with this now I've been able to add an image to my web page. Okay, so now let me see, let me just put this here. Now in cases whereby maybe the network is slow or the image was not found, you're going to get this little icon over here. Now you don't just want to give this to your users. Okay, you want to tell them what happened. So in that case you use the alt tag. It's called alt alternate. Okay, so now the alt tag, then you use my image. So the alternative text that will be shown, but eventually the image was not displayed. Okay, so now can you see you have my image here, so they will know, okay, this is an image with showing my image. Or you understand, just a little description of that image you're talking about, you want to show there. All right, so and it's also useful for search engine optimization. So you want to definitely, it's really important to use the alt. All right, then you also have other attributes. You have the width attribute to set the width for your image. Let me set this as 500. Okay, so now, okay, let me take this off. Now you see I have set the width of the image. Okay, you also have height. Let me make this 400. Okay, so now I have also set the height. Let me make it to 100. So now you can see, so just you have those attributes, but preferably not to just use this, but you can use it if you want, but most times you just use the height. All right, so then yeah, you can also link your image. So let me link this now using the a tag. Remember I did that earlier. Then let me say let me just tell them to go to NEXRUSH. Okay, then I tell them go to NEXRUSH. Alright, then I close it up here. Oh, let me cut this off and paste it here. Okay, so with this now my image is now a link. I can click on the image. So now can you see it? So once I click this now, it's going to load. It's going to take me to nexrush.com. okay, so do you understand? So that is as simple as that. You can link anything you want to link. All right, so you can make your image a link. Do you understand? Okay, so then after that, yeah, one more thing I also want to explain about codes. You want to add codes. So now how do you add codes? Let me comment. So HTML codes. So now I'm going to do that by using, first of all, there's a tag called block codes. Okay, let me remove this comma. Block codes. So and the block code has other attributes. Okay, you have the site attribute there. All right, so the site attributes just basically gonna where you got that information from. So let me just use just anything here, example com. Okay, so that is just for your site. Then you can start writing and your content, just start writing. So now let me show me web page now. So we have our 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 code here. So you can see this is not starting. You can see this is actually, it has a space here, it has space here. So because it is a block, because it's a quote, okay, so that's why that is happening. All right, you can see the other tests are starting immediately, so there's no much space by the left. Okay, but here, because this is a quote, that's why you have this space here. All right, so and it will be bolding. Okay, so then you also have another one for, okay, let me see your writing now. You're writing a, okay, this is Gideon from NEXRUSH. Okay, and you want to cite this. Okay, so how do you do that? Okay, so now you can just make this, just use the cite tag. Alright, let me just cut this. Oh, it's even, so Gideon. Okay, so now you have this, you see it. So this is citing, you are citing information from somewhere. All right, or you can also have this too. Okay, let me say you have an abbreviation. You can also create an abbreviation on HTML also. All right, so let me create my abbreviation. Okay, no, www means World Wide Web. Alright, so, and I want to tell them this is an abbreviation. I don't have to use the ABBL tag. Okay, it simply means abbreviation. Alright, then I'm gonna use the title attributes. So it's really important you know these attributes. Alright, so because it is adding more properties, more characteristics to your element. Alright, so World Wide Web. Okay, so that's that. Then let me www. Okay, so now let me take this here now. Can you see this now? Once I put my mouse, it's going to give me, it's going to create this. All right, so you understand. So this is an abbreviation, so we know that, okay, this thing here means, it means www. Or let me even, I didn't necessarily have need to input this is whatever information you want to put there. So but this is going to tell us that this www here is an abbreviation for World Wide Web. Okay, so that's the usefulness for the abbreviation element. All right, so then, okay, after that, I think with this you should be able to, these are just basic HTML elements. All right, so let me just go over it again, so I can explain some things that maybe that is not clear. Okay, so I started off by telling you the basic HTML page structure. Okay, so you need to have, first of all, you declare your version, your HTML version, your document type. All right, then secondly, you start off by creating your HTML element. Okay, then in your HTML element, I told you HTML is divided into two. You have the head and the body. Okay, the head is used by the browser to render your page and whatever. Okay, then you have your body, which is displayed and rendered on the web page. Okay, now you have your title, which is what is displayed here, my website. Okay, then that will be in the head section. Okay, then you have your body. So your body now, all the informations here will be displayed on the web page. All right, so you have it here. Do you understand? Okay, so then after that we have heading. So we have 6 headings in HTML. We have heading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now these are taken according to their level of importance. All right, so you want to make sure your heading 1, your H1 is the most important heading on the web page. Okay, so then I talked about the paragraph. To start creating write-ups. Okay, you want to start writing more information, maybe your blog post, your blog page, or an article. You want to start writing about it, you use the paragraph tag. All right, okay, the be how tag I mentioned is to create line break. Okay, then the HR, horizontal row. Okay, then I also told you the best practice to do. while you're writing this tag. So you don't want to use this slash. Okay, you want to make it br. Okay, because that's the standard tag format. Okay, then I talked about list. Okay, I talked about HTML link. So to create a link in HTML, you use the a tag. Okay, then it has attributes, href attribute, which is telling you the link location, the location for that link. Okay, which is google.com. Then the link name is going to be go to Google. Okay, you can use anything you want here. You can anything you want here. I can just use Google only. Alright, so I will just have Google here. Okay, could I put G? Okay. Okay, so I'll have Google here. Alright, so you can rename it to any name you want, but your link, make sure the href contains the exact and correct location of the link. Okay, then I have HTML list. So now I told you in HTML we have two type of list. We have unordered list and we have ordered list. Okay, so the unordered list now will just display the contents for you without numbering them. So it's going to use this little black round object here. Okay, so list it out for you. Then the ordered list is going to number them. Okay, you can have the numbering system, or you can have the Roman numerals. Okay, so it depends on you. You can just set that. Alright, using CSS. That's why I told you that this video is only and purely HTML. Alright, so you don't have it's not going to look beautiful because you're not designing it, you're just structuring the content. So you're just creating a content. Alright, so you're creating content for your web page. You're not trying to do anything, any design or whatever. You just want to create your content. You want to create an element. You want to tell this, okay, this is an heading, okay, this is a list, okay, this is a table. You understand? Okay, this is a form. Are you getting the logic now? Okay, so then I also talked about HTML table. Okay, so I talked about for you to create a table, you need to create your table tag, then followed by the t head. Alright, which will be this. So this is the t head. Okay, then followed by the table body. Alright, so this is the table body. So in the t head now you have your tr, which is the table role. So this is the role. Sorry. So this is the role. Okay, so now in the role now we have the th itself, which is the table head itself, the table heading itself. Alright, so which carries the heading for the table, the title for the table. Now the th now determines the number of columns. So if you have 3 th here, it means I'm going to have 3 columns. Okay, let me put another th there. For example, let me say phone number. Okay, so it's going to create another column for phone number. Alright, do you see it? Can you see it now? But because the respective information here does not carry 3 table data, okay, so if you have 3 th here, 3 th elements here, make sure you also have 3 tds, okay, so that each one is representing each column. Alright, so that's the logic behind HTML tables. Okay, so just play with it and play with it and be flexible with it, so you understand it. Then I also talked about HTML form. Alright, so on Facebook, you want to log into your Facebook, there's this login page, or the registration page, the sign up page, or contact form to contact us, or whatever form you want to have. So you can create that using HTML by using the form tag. Okay, so now the form tag carries some attributes. The action attribute is where the data is being sent for processing. Okay, then the method attribute is how the data is being sent. So you want to send it via post method or via get method. Okay, so the post is the most secured. Alright, then now we have label to name the input box. You want to tell that okay, this box here is to name, is for first name. Okay, so the label element is just to identify this input box. Alright, then your input tag itself, it carries some attributes, the type attribute and the name attribute. Okay, so the type attribute is very important. It determines the kind of information that should be written, that will be written in here. Okay, so the first name now is a text. Alright, so you want to use the type of text. if the last name now is a type, is a text, so you want to use text. But for email now in HTML5 now, because we are talking about HTML and HTML5 latest practice, safe practices and best practices. Okay, so an HTML in HTML, an email input now has a type of email. Okay, now there's one I didn't talk about. That is radio. Okay, let me just show you that quick. Now radio can also work. Okay, let me use that for gender now. Okay, gender, right? So gender. Okay, so I have my input, I have my type, I have radio. Okay, then I have value, I have male, sorry, I have male. Okay, then I have input, I have type. Right, is it done this way? I'm coming. You realize this, but I'm using font. Okay, okay, so I have my value. No, value shouldn't be here. Okay, so radio, then coming. Okay, this is outdated. Okay, so that's why it's because if I should use a value, a value attribute here, it should supposed to it's supposed to just give me the value I want here. All right, so but you can see radio button, and I'm sure you've seen this in some places. Okay, so but I wonder why that is not working. Maybe I didn't get something right well, but I'm coming. Let me try figure that out. Should be working. I should have a working radio, an example of a radio. I will show you now. Just give me a few minutes. Why is it not working? I type radio, then what else? Okay, so um I have okay I have here I have my value. I have my value to be male, of course. Then I have name. I have my name to be male, because that is how I'm gonna fetch that. Okay, I explained the usefulness of male. Then I have the what's going to be displayed on the page, the male. Alright, so then I have a BR tag, sorry, to start on the last line. Then I want to just copy this, and paste it here, and also paste it here. So for here I have female, then here I want to change this to female. So then I want to make this others, then I want to make the value of this others too. So this should work. Okay, yeah, exactly, it's working. Okay, so you can just the difference between, or the characteristics between a select and a radio is that you can only select one here. Alright, you can only select one. Same thing likewise here too, you can only select one. Alright, are you seeing it? So that is it. So but best practice is better you use your HTML, you select. Alright, but you can also use radio. It's cool and nice. Alright, so make sure you take that into consideration. No name, yeah. I was also wondering now, if I say I want to fetch this should be gender. This should be gender. So with this, that is what is going to be the relationship between all this content here, all this video input here. All right, so this means that I have an option for male, for female, and others. That is, I have gender options for male, female, and others. Okay, so please take note of that. So once you create your input, you type radio, your value, this is the value, the male, and the name, gender. So I told you now, if you want to fetch this now to your database or whatever, they use it, they fetch it using the name attributes. All right, then the value. So to get the value of this input now, they fetch using the gender. Okay, now if I have the name attribute now set to male, and I have this set to female and this to others, there's no way I can be able to get the value of gender. All right, so you make sure you correct that and make sure your name, the value of your name attribute is always in the right order. Okay, so that's the correction for that. So you're going to create error, because if you want to fetch it, if you want to fetch the value of this of gender now, and you now have the name here to be male, name here to be female, name here to be others, you won't get a response, because there's no value for, there's no attribute for, there's no input box allocated to the name of gender. All right, so make sure you correct this and take note of that. So then that is that on HTML with creating radio buttons. Okay, then I also told you how to create, okay, select, then the type of number for your age and the rest of it, then the submit button. All right, so input type, the type should be submit, and the value, I can click, if it's a login form, I can change the value to be login, so you see login here. All right, so that depends on you, so whatever you want to use there, you can use it there. Then I also told you can also create a custom button in HTML using the button tag. All right, so but this, if you want to create activity to, you want to create from, and you want to make this interactive, you have to make it interactive using JavaScript or whatever scripting language you are using. Then I also talked about image. How can I add image to my website? So you do that using the img tag. Okay, so the img tag now carries some other attributes. All right, the src tag, the src attribute. So src is just the source, the source for that information. Okay, the source for that document. All right, so this is telling the browser that the source for this image now is here. All right, image.jpg. Then the alt attribute is telling the browser that whenever this image is not displayed, use this, display this. Then the width attribute is setting the width of the image. Okay, so you can link your image, you can make, you can make your image clickable. Okay, so using the a tag, so you just do it. There shouldn't be a text here, so all that should be there is just this. Okay, so that's that. So I'm making those necessary correction now, so that you will take note of that. Okay, so I'm gonna just make this link only. Okay, so once I click on it, it's gonna take me to NEXRUSH. Okay, so that was the href, that was the value for href I specified here. Okay, so for your src, you specify the source for the information for the document. Okay, then I talked about quotes, HTML quotes. Okay, you have block quotes, you have the tag block quote, then the attribute site for where this information was gotten from. Okay, then I can also use this to cite the author. Maybe you took something from my website, then you want to cite it, just use the cite tag. Okay, and I can also make abbreviations too in HTML, so using the abbreviation tag. All right, with the title attribute. Okay, so with that, I hope you're able to understand the fundamentals of HTML. And I also talked about the basic rule to writing HTML tag, the opening tag and the closing tag. Okay, so the closing tag is just the replication of the opening tag with a forward slash or backward slash. Okay, So if you don't understand anything, you can always go back, rewind, or take it back to wherever you don't understand, and try to listen to it again over and over again. Okay, and I always say this: it's really important you practice. You you practice. Okay, so you this thing can't just fly to your head. Okay, you can't just watch it and listen to it once and it's you just know it like that. No, you've got to practice. Okay, so whatever I'm showing you here, put it to work. All right, get creative with it. So do things on your own. So be more flexible. So you've got to have that flexibility and that passion to learn it and master it. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, so just learn, just listen, just focus. All right, so by the end of this 14 days course, you should be able to design a beautiful and responsive static website. Okay, so in the next video, okay, yeah, earlier I talked about an activity that will be done. Okay, so at least with this now, you should be able to create a resume. Okay, you have your heading, my resume, or your name. You have your paragraph for content. Then you can, in your paragraph now, you can have a list. Okay, so you should be able to create a resume, and your resume should contain your name, your age, your address, your experience, your school. You understand? Where did you school? What are your um education, you know your education details and stuff like that. Okay, so just do that now, and just do that. Okay, after watching this video, do that and see how you can get creative with it. Okay, using HTML only. So just create a resume. Okay, using HTML. All right, so um if you have any questions, if you don't understand what I said somewhere, or you don't understand anything, or you have a question you want to ask. Okay, so make sure to comment. Okay, you can comment here, you can comment on the website. Okay, so make sure you comment to ask your question. All right, and please subscribe, like and share. All right, so it's really important you do that. Okay, so I'm gonna see you guys next time, and thank you for participating and taking the course. Okay, thank you and bye.